Hey everyone, this is Artie, and welcome everyone to the first ever Guards of Atlantis 2 tournament. I hope you will enjoy what you're about to see, and let's all have a lot of fun over these 2 weeks and see which team is the best. Good luck to all of them, and enjoy watching.
Hello everyone. My microphone wasn't working. This is Speedy Brain. I'll be casting today, and Mori will join us in a bit. The teams already starting. They will now start pick and ban what heroes they're going to play. This is our first ever game that we're casting for this tournament, so there might be some technical difficulties. So please just be warned and don't be too mad at us. So right now, let me check if everything's working on the stream. Can you hear us? Can you maybe just write in chat if everything's fine? Everything works well. Okay, perfect. Then also from me, a warm welcome. Let's have lots of fun. I'm very curious to see how this will turn out. I've actually played a few matches with the red team before. Actually, I've played with all of them, so I know a bit of how they play. They've all not been playing too long, except for Felix, who had an experience a few months ago as well. So he's a bit more familiar with the game, but a lot has changed since then. So we'll see how much of it will transfer into the current meta of the game or the current state of the game. If I heard it correct, then blue team is first to pick, or rather to ban. Right now we're just waiting for them to decide which character they want to ban. Okay, let's see. We see a lot of hands, and the first ban is Sabina. So now red team gets to pick what character they want to play. I was actually the other way around. Okay, red began the ban. Sorry. Some little bit of misinformation there. So blue picked Wasp. I actually don't know who's red. So that would be Julius, who's now playing as Wasp.
Alright, so we have first pick. We have Wasp, who's a really good brawler.
I actually have our second
by
pick.
a pick of Brogan. Pretty safe picks so far.
So that would be Felix as Brogan. Okay, and Dodger has been picked by blue team.
So Wasp Dodger.
Yes. Do you think that's a good matchup? Putting Wasp and Dodger together in a team.
Pretty high initiative. Could use a bit of extra defense. We'll see what the last pick will be.
Yeah. First, I think they have to ban one more time. So we'll see if they ban Aaron actually. Even though I think Zagato would be a good pick against them. So if I would be playing blue, I would probably ban Zagafa. Okay, and they banned Aaron. So red team can now choose between Tiger Claw and its Tiger Claw. Okay.
So Arian is banned, and it's either Sargata or Tiger Claw is the last pick, and it's Tiger Claw. Yeah, very good answer to Dodger and Wasp. With his high mobility and initiative, can harass the other team pretty well.
Okay. Okay, players still getting their cards. Ari, do you maybe want to tell us again a little bit about the characters that have been picked? What their strengths are, what their weaknesses are?
So today we'll be playing, as all the group games, this will be using short game rules. So you can see 3 wave tokens, and we have 4 respawns on each team. So have to be careful. Too many early deaths can be a bit more problematic than in the full game.
Test. Ari, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly.
So there was a problem with my microphone in Discord apparently. So people on stream could hear me, but you couldn't. So that makes sense why you didn't answer to my comments.
Okay, that must be funny.
It would probably be for the people like watching. They would be wondering, huh? Ari repeats what Speedy said, but doesn't answer. So my last question for you was actually, can you recap what the strengths of the picked characters are?
All right, so it's a tricky question, loaded, I might even say, because in guards, the character is not really set in stone, so it will all depend on the choices they make. But in general, purely looking at the stats, we can see that on the left we have a slight initiative advantage because Dodger is fast and Wasp is also pretty fast. While the red team has Brogan, who is not very good at initiative, but they balanced it with a good pick of Tiger Claw, who is faster than both Dodger and Wasp. The red team is a bit tankier in the sense of Brogan, but then again, Cat is a glass cannon. I think we actually have a pretty balanced lineup so far. One thing to watch for is interesting if the blue team will choose to go ranged, because that is one of the responses you can have for Tiger Claw. I think the first level up will tell us much more about how this game will go.
So you mean if Wasp will go range?
And in general, the choices that they will pick, because in the short game, you don't always can count on getting to the tier 3 cards. That means that whenever you make the upgrade, you have to consider that you will stick with it for most of the match, right?
Yes, that is true.
So,
and from my experience, you usually just finish tier 1 and then maybe you get into tier 2 and then the match is already over. Either by kills or by pushes. Because a quick match actually can go very fast.
I'm interested to see how this game will go, because tournament play might be slightly different in the sense that players might play safer, but it's hard to predict. I think we will see some interesting meta unfold right before our eyes.
Yeah, that's true. I'm very curious, since this is the first tournament and the first game. Don't really know what to expect. Like I said before in earlier, I've played with all of them matches before, so kind of know how they play, but it's gonna be totally different now. I don't expect them to play the same as when we're just doing a casual match.
Definitely. So the players right now are arranging their cards. And Des, who's judging this game, who you cannot hear, is probably going through the rules with the players.
And I think Mori just joined us.
Yep, just joining on board now. A little bit late. Missed the pick and bans. I have been considering. I think Brogan was going to be a high pick. Was that the first pick on the red team?
First pick was actually Wasp on blue, and then
Wasp on blue.
Encounter Brogan on red.
Okay.
It's an interesting choice, come to think of it, because Wasp can really make Brogan's life hard. So in one sense, Brogan is a good response because he offers the pretty necessary tanky capability, but at the same time, Wasp can really harm that specific hero, unless, of course, uh, he knows that and takes the appropriate upgrades. We shall see.
Yeah, it's there's not much more joy in this world than playing Wasp and getting down your silver versus Brogan's bull charge.
Yep, or your gold versus his blue.
But I'm going to say now, I think this, at least in the beginning rounds of this tournament, we're going to see either a lot of Brogan early picks or early bans because he's a very, very safe pair of hands. That inherent tankiness helps, especially in these short games and just giving you that little bit of survivability. I think a lot of people have faced Axe Two Face one time too many as well to know the power that can come with him.
Definitely. And there are some actually aggressive strategies that allow you to try to deny minion kills right from the start, like from the first very round, if you're not careful. So I'm curious to see if some of those more aggressive moves will be made.
I feel like since everybody's new in this tournament, I have the feeling they will play it safe. They will try to play more safely. I'm also curious to see if anyone is going all the way through the jungle, or if they will just go to beach. I think that determines a lot if they want to play more aggressively or if they just want to lay back and see how it goes.
Very true. This is especially important for the blue team because if Dodger is not careful, she will go down a lot. So I'll be interested to see if they decide to split or go together.
Okay, it looks like there's some issue on the red team with the cards.
Just a situation tidying up.
Yes, I think we should almost be ready to start. But it looks like they're having some issue with the card. With the tier 3 Leaping Strike. Because maybe we should mention this, we're playing the game on Tabletopia, which has all the core heroes in this room. And there can be some glitches, sadly. And one of the usual glitches that can happen is that one of the players can't really see the card, and then you kind of have to fiddle a little bit around. So that's probably what's happening over there.
It's a bit of a shame because it's wonderfully flexible for developers in terms of what Tabletopia can produce. But the downside to that flexibility and ability to kind of update on the fly does come with the downside of not being always the most stable platform.
Mm-hmm.
It
Definitely.
has though been very popular through the Discord. There's been a number of times I've checked on Discord, and there's been 3 or even 4 games running. And for a game that's not even available and only 2 weeks into its Kickstarter, that's a very good sign.
Yeah, I think the another thing is that because of the self-isolation that many of us are subjected to right now. Digital gaming became more popular, so they're not really ready for this amount of traffic. So a bit more bugs than usual.
Oh yeah, I've do a bit of tabletop gaming on Board Game Arena, and the spiking numbers on there is absolutely phenomenal when you compare it to what their stats were in months leading up to March 2020. Quite the overload. But I will say that most of the programs, in terms of giving this tabletop, have done a pretty good job of finding the extra computing power to keep us going.
All right, looks like we have the first card played.
Oh, yeah. Seems like they're starting.
I expect to see a lot of green right now, except Brogan.
Expecting the low initiative cards out first.
Exactly. Well, actually, cat is blue, so it should be blue on the right side.
And green on the left side.
Exactly.
Actually, the gold. That's an interesting move.
Unexpected, to say the least.
Yeah.
Especially with an aggressive position there up at the top. It's Cat using Tyclor using actually one of the safer attack cards because it's a high initiative and has a reposition on it. So it can leave people guessing about where you're actually going to be. So with that being burnt for the movement, the fastest move Tyclor has is they're red. And that means that the blue team can be fairly confident that Tiger Claw, if they're going for the minion kill, is going to stay on the left-hand side if you're looking at the red side.
I
Yes.
actually almost expected Dodger to go one space below. I think I think he even considered that move for a second and then changed his mind, because if he would stay there, he could be able to endanger the Tiger Claw with his red with range 2, and then still use it to move up to the minion if the Tiger Claw decides to dodge it. So, but as we can see, players are trying to play it safe, which is understandable.
I still think Tiger Claw being down one attack card is like kind of puts him in a bad position right away. Because this is a quick game. So even like Maury said, if they go for the push, the blue team, they will definitely win this minion battle for this round and have an advantage for the next round.
Not likely to be able to get up 2 minion kills though. I don't necessarily mind the gold if Tiger Claw's playing along the beach because you're playing the kind of towards safer minions. Using the gold to then take the jungle makes you less threatening. So Dodger can actually be relatively confident that they're going to survive a Tiger Claw skirmish.
But he actually played
Yeah,
his green
Tiger Claw
card.
is going. Yeah, Tiger Claw is going for a super safe play, so you're gonna be invulnerable next turn, be able to use it to move next to the minion.
And here come the green cards now for just everybody to get into position for them to look for their first minion kills. I mean, the one thing that's nice about this Tiger Claw play is it does give the potential for Tiger Claw to then head up onto the blue team's beach to then take the minion and still get a one space move. And then they've got fast travel to choose where they want to go coming into the following round.
True,
Yeah.
and looks like Brogan is going for the ranged minion, so I think they're actually trying to win the push here.
I'm not sure if Tiger Claw is just playing it super safe or he actually wants to be a bit more aggressive now. I guess the next card will show what the goal here is. But they could go for the minion.
Yeah, right
And
now I think it's super safe for him to play his blue, because he still has. First of all, he cannot be attacked now. He still has his green in hand, able to defend. So
If Dodger plays red here, there is the outside chance of Tiger Claw punishing it, but Dodger still's got gold, so should be able to get out the way.
It's also interesting that if Tiger Claw right now plays his blue, keeping his green, that makes him vulnerable to Dodger's gold.
Yeah, but there's enough minions on the table. I don't think Dodger's going to be able to get the range.
Well, it also depends where Tiger Claw is going. And I think he will go near the beach, like to the left. So not standing next to Dodger. And Dodger's gold has just one range without minion spawn points.
So, yep, just looking like that's the blue team securing their minion kills.
He could have been aggressive. He could have moved right between. No, he could not, because he cannot defense from. Yep, never mind.
And
And for Dodger, it will make sense to play his silver now.
You almost wish he used his green to fast travel on turn 1, right? Because then he would have options right now.
Yeah.
I mean, Tiger Claw still is going to be able to hit and run and get onto the beach and have fast travel. So I don't think it's terribly bad. Brogan, though, has met the what I was talking about before in terms of Bull Rush meets Static Barrier. And that is a
Right,
sad
right.
Brogan.
Almost like you called it.
There goes that push.
Yeah, Brogan's not going to be leveling up at the end of this round now. Great spot by Wasp. Recognizing that the only way that Brogan's going to be able to get anything achieved is using that Bull Rush.
Yeah, they will now have to pivot because another minion goes down end of the round. Yeah, Brogan might reconsider his move next round. We'll see.
Okay, that was the end of round 1. So it's 5 against 4, which means that the red team has to remove 1 minion.
Yeah, we'll also see here the lack of Brogan's mobility hurting him twice because he can't quite get far enough around the jungle to set up charge paths for the following round. So he's going to have to spend another action to maneuver through that jungle.
And that gives Wasp options to deny him again.
Yeah, I can see Wasp just waltzing down to the minion on the red beach and picking that one off, which is normally a bit of a hard one. Tiger Claw being next to the blue base now means that Dodger's fairly free to actually go deeper. And in terms of actually positioning for the push, the blue team's in a very good position for that push.
They can even afford to take the heavy and then stabilize it, I think. Yeah, because Dodger has enough mobility to move next to a minion, take it, the ranged one, and then move into the zone
Yeah,
and
that is
take
true.
one more after the push. Very dangerous for the red team right now.
And this all stems from Brogan not being able to get that minion kill. If Brogan got that minion kill, instead we kind of seen two sides swap, and we've seen instead the potential of the fast farm, which does somewhat favor the blue team just a bit, but with Tiger Claw's speed, it could have allowed the red team to still have sneaked it. So just shows you that one card in that final turn of round 1 making a huge difference coming into round 2.
Indeed. It was a good call by Wasp. Reading Brogan right, seeing that his only choice is to play his red card, and countering that.
That was the thing. It was absolutely telegraphed, unfortunately, by Brogan. And if like we say we're seeing a first pick Wasp, I think if you're first picking Wasp, you should be comfortable with what Static Barrier does to certain characters.
And Brogan has response to it. Static Barrier is not unstoppable. The initiative is not that high. If he has enough initiative items, he can actually outpace it. Unless Wasp responds in kind, of course.
I was about to say, and Wasp is going for the boomerang, which is coming with that initiative. So what worked well once before is a little stronger into the following round. Now,
And also interesting, we see like Wasp and Dodger both having initiative now. They will be far more ahead. Okay, Tyreclaw also taking initiative. And Brogan was not able to level up this turn, like this round.
There's interesting thing about the initiative is because Tiger Claw is so much ahead in the starting initiative stats that he could have easily avoided getting initiative in response to the other team. Because he can afford that gap and still be in front. In fact, it might even give him a bit of tactical aggressive advantage to sometimes go last.
Might just be looking to get the pickpocket to try and hit the gold, try and slow down the advancement of the other team.
I think
rather than looking at the...
I think red team knows that they have to defend now and the blue team will get the push. So I would predict that they try to go into position, or even maybe Tiger Claw being aggressive against Dodger and trying to get a kill there.
Do you think Tiger... Oh, yeah, because Tiger Claw didn't move onto the beach, so... Because had Tiger Claw been on the beach, there was a possibility instead to collapse on Wasp and try and put the pressure there, and while they got back into position to defend.
Okay, so Wasp moving right next to the minion, which she can kill with a gold, and then she has a red to kill the heavy minion. Brogan is instead going deeper into the jungle, which I didn't see coming.
Still wants to get the minion kills, try and get some golden pocket.
If Brogan takes one minion, that allows him to level up twice at the end of the round, so it might be actually worth the gamble. But after that, he needs to move to his own base full speed.
I'm also not sure that the move from Tiger Claw was all too smart, because Tiger Claw could have moved on the beach and then fast traveled.
Yeah. Also, if Tiger Claw used green there, Tiger Claw could be on the next minion right now, knowing at the end of the day that you kind of wouldn't mind drawing back Dodger up because you're trying to slow down the push. And if you're looking at the end of the day to pick up the minions, the situation is that it's not entirely implausible that you could be left looking for your second minion kill and the blue team actually gets the push and you're still out of position and now you don't have the gold in hand.
Yep, that is very true. Let's see what they picked.
I think he's holding on to the green for the safety because, Dodger can hurt quite a bit.
Especially with range 3. I'm not sure what is my opinion on using gold to move, to be honest.
I'm also not a fan of that, because especially playing it that early in the round, he now gave away his option to dodge and also attack. I think in other card would have been much better. But then again, I would have also not played the blue card. Okay, and
I expect silver from the cat next turn.
a red team going for the minions. So next turn they will get the push. Brogan just getting his one minion kill, so he can level up.
Because right now, before the lane is pushed, Dodger can actually move one space down and get range 3 on her gold.
Yeah.
Tiger Claw needs to be really careful there.
If Tiger Claw plays silver, it does just allow that safe pickup minion and potentially leaves Tiger Claw next to Dodger, which then threatens Dodger. Brogan here has the option to grab a little bit more cash in pocket and still be able to start working the way down for the transition.
Yeah, because movement 1 will not help him much, right? So he can probably afford to actually take this minion, I agree with you.
Yeah, he will take a boomerang, quite likely, but I don't think that's really going to worry him. It will slow him getting down, though, which I think is probably worthwhile.
Boomerang will not really harm him, I think, because by the time it lands, the minion is already down, and he gets the bonus from his minion next to him. I don't think he's in trouble, really.
I don't think he's in trouble, but if he has to burn his, if he plays gold and has to burn his green, he's then left with silver in round 4 with no movement. But I'm not sure about the numbers on that.
Oh,
So
5.
Brogan and Tiger Claw actually being tied for the initiative right now. Okay, and Brogan takes another minion. I think that was a smart move here.
Yeah, his green is more than enough to block Wasp. Now it's a question if Wasp wants to delay Brogan even more, or they want to trigger a push. Cat is surprising me right now.
And Cat thinking about Dodger Silver being the death trap, which gives...
Cat's just giving up on the gold and getting into position.
But Dodger did actually lose an option to kill the cat this round, because I think it was doable, because he did not go for his silver. Going after him would actually be really, really dangerous. And now,
So,
because she played silver, she's not able to move, so she will not be able to actually reach the minion and stabilize the push. So I'm not sure if that was the correct call there.
And also the silver
Yeah.
doesn't do anything anymore because the battle zone has shifted. So
yeah,
the
so
silver
there's no discard on the cat.
was completely useless.
I think Dodger was probably hoping maybe that Wasp actually would throw the boomerang there at Brogan, just to force the card out to open up the kill potential. Because that would have been a discard on Cat adjacent to. No, she wouldn't have been adjacent to 2 empty spaces because there was still the one there. I think she's maybe a little bit greedy, hoping the Cat was going to go for the minion kill.
So Des was asking if we would like to speak with the players after the game, and I think the answer is yes. So hopefully they will be able to join us when the game is done, and we can hear their point of view. I think this will be interesting.
I'm taking a few notes because I do want to know what Tiger Claw thought at the beginning. So it will be good to hear what they had in mind.
There was definitely a few interesting choices they could make in that last round, in that last turn as well. Brogan's now free to move down. I will say the Wasp has got a nice wad of cash sitting there. That's 2 levels up with 2 spare right now.
So if Dodger takes his gold, is it also only in the battle zone, or does he get his +2 range?
I believe it's battle zone only for the gold on Dodger.
Because if it's not, he still could kill the cat, I think.
No, it's in the battle zone.
It's in the battle zone, okay. Well, then all he can do
I'm
is move.
expecting red for Cat and for them to just melt it down through the line and get in position to start getting some minion kills to get this pushback. Because Brogan's going to be a little while getting.
Yeah, and the worst thing is Wasp is at her lowest initiative right now, so no fast traveling in any foreseeable future for Brogan. That is actually a very good demonstration of the main thing you have to look after when playing that character. Like, your mobility is one of your Achilles heels.
So that is just an absolute nightmare for Brogan because that +1 initiative there from Wasp.
Yeah.
Again, just deny. I mean, every time you hit Brogan with a movement denial, it just hurts so much more than other characters.
Definitely.
So I think that's something that we said in the beginning when the pick and banned. I'm not sure if it was a good choice to take Brogan against Wasp. But
I am eyeing up that dodger position, and yes, it looks really nice for putting minions in range, but Tiger Claw can follow, and Dodger's defense is very low with 2 enemy minions on top of him, on top of her.
yeah, and Tiger Claw will always go first with his gold card.
So where's
But
Tiger Claw wanting to follow?
Yeah, Tiger Claw is not playing an aggressive game. Makes me slightly sad because I think that they could really use it in this one.
That was a really good window there to put pressure on Dodger. Just in terms of, you know, asking them to actually, you know, respond to a threat of Tiger Claw. Right now, where Tiger Claw is positioned, an upgraded red will get Tiger Claw onto Wasp, but I don't think it's really. You're then just letting Dodger free farm.
True, but they will have lead of 2 minions because since Dodger didn't play the movement card and wasn't able to stabilize the lane by taking the extra minion, another minion will die right now, and that actually creates the opening for the other team to maybe take Wasp. It's a dangerous tactic, but it can work out.
Also, sorry, ignore my comment before. Dodger's on blue team, so he's actually supported by the melee minion standing next to him, not negative. That's me making a mistake there. So actually, I don't mind Tiger Claw's move in between the two, because it could be aggressive. An upgraded red can get him onto either character, either side.
And of course, the minion was removed to deny the cat his attack.
so also Tiger Claw went before Wasp, which even gave him the option to go there. Because they were tied, so Static Shield was not yet active. Otherwise, that could also have blocked him from going near Wasp. So on Wasp, the move was definitely good.
I'm interested to see where Tiger Claw goes. Brogan has gone to get some initiative and get the throwing axe, because I think he's just had enough of being denied by this Wasp.
Yeah, and with 2 upgrade items, they will be pretty close. Unless, of course, Wasp also goes for initiative.
Yeah, it's an interesting choice for Wasp if they're aware of what Brogan's going for, because the kinetic repulse card gives you the initiative and the push away. I think that's got to be a strong consideration, because against 2 melee characters, having the push away is pretty strong. And telekinesis versus magnetic shield. Well, TKO gives the attack, and magnetic shield is going to be offering more defense. There's not really a requirement for the shield, mainly because the range attack of Brogan isn't very exciting, and Cat doesn't get range. Tiger Claw doesn't get real range until tier 3 with an upgrade.
Yeah, and Wasp seems like going after attack.
Yeah, I mean, it just means that you've got telekinesis, which is more likely useful skill, and the defense isn't mattering too much because your opponents are stacking initiative, so you're still not in a bad spot. You didn't have an option of defense there. Oh, and yeah, absolutely stacking that attack.
That definitely makes sense for Wasp, I think. And Brogan not trying to catch up with the initiative is also interesting.
That's an attack 7 boomerang right there.
Mm.
I mean, even Brogan might use a little bit of defense items. I'm not sure.
Yeah, Wasp going aggressive for sure, rather than taking the defensive option with the repulse and having the increased initiative. Trying to get that some big boomerang hits in. Dodgers also started stacking initiative. Going for the necromancy card instead of darker ritual.
Yeah, they probably plan to win it right now, and I think they can actually achieve this because Dodger can take 2 minions. Wait, no, she will not be able to raise one of their own without sacrificing an attack. Interesting.
I mean,
It opens up the window, but base necromancy has to be a melee, doesn't it?
I think they can do it. I think Dodger can take 2 minions and revive one of theirs.
No,
Only
no,
if
no.
there's no pressure.
Tier 2 Necromancy requires discarding an attack card.
Oh, an
Yeah.
attack card. Okay.
So
As a general rule, very few characters can actually gain minion push advantage on tier 2. Those cards are usually start at tier 3.
it's the death trap going down before Tiger Claw.
Very interesting. Because blue team can also now fast travel.
To
So-
be honest, I do not necessarily agree with Wasp moving at initiative 10. She could really stay there a little bit more to make Brogan more miserable, but now he can fast travel, so
Yeah, they seem to be very keen to get this pickup. I do like the death trap that was played by Dodger. You know, given the fact that she wasn't really under a lot of pressure, and it allows her to, you know, potentially steal the discard, which she did on Tiger Claw. Because now Tiger Claw being down a card, wonderfully vulnerable for the hero kill.
Yeah, but I also think red team now wants to get the kill on Dodger. Also with Brogan moving in that close.
can they afford that though? It's really dangerous right now. Even though they're winning by 2 minions, like a slight mistake can actually cost you the game.
Yeah.
When you have this much out of position.
If they can pull off the kill, which I think they're not in a terrible position for, because in some ways it's almost a shame that you don't have Bull Rush still, because Bull Rush would pretty much guarantee it happening.
So Cat is stealing a coin from Dodger and getting
then
it
playing
for
safe.
settlement.
Yeah, moving away. I
And also in a
I quite
straight
like
line.
actually sitting on top.
Also in a straight line so that Wasp can't attack Tiger Claw now with a boomerang. That was also important because that was still an option.
Yeah, very good observation.
I was wondering if one of the things that could have been done there is actually the cat coming in, moving next to Dodger, stealing the one coin, and then just moving to the next space adjacent to Dodger. That means that you're in melee range of Dodger. You've got Brogan there in support. There's a couple of attacks coming there. Dodger's not got defense, so Dodger's got to get out the way.
That is right. If you have pressure on her, she's not killing minions at the same time.
I'm curious to see what Dodger is going for now.
If she knows that Brogan doesn't have access to Bull Rush,
Brogan could still attack now.
could still attack with the discard. I think a blue for green for reposition would be what I would like from Dodger.
Yeah, there it is.
Because I don't think with Cat moving away like that, I feel relatively confident that you're not being gone for now.
So actually, what Wasp could have done here is play her red, since she kind of knew that Tiger Claw is going for gold to get the minion kill, and then she could have attacked Tiger Claw with red, and I think that would have been a kill on Tiger Claw.
Tiger Claw still has green to get out of the way, though.
And red.
Yeah, he would dodge it. He would dodge it because
Dodge it either way.
One comment in the chat that
Oh.
it would be nice to see the cards better, so maybe
Yeah.
we should use the space button more often and highlight the specific cards.
So I kind of missed Dodger moved away with the green
Brogan
card.
steps in,
Yeah.
but that's now red down for Brogan. I think we've got to be aware of here is Cat isn't entirely safe. Red on Cat. Yes, they can dodge. But
Cat will move after his red, right?
yeah.
So I think he has enough initiative to actually avoid the second attack, but I'm not sure that a kill is a kill.
Already had to discard a card, and Dodger is running the Finger of Death route, not Burning Skull. So that's a big hit for a little cat. That would demand the green.
But Cat dodges it with green, right? And
Dodge
second
it with
attack will
green.
kill him anyway.
Move 2 spaces. Yeah, you can get in a straight line.
So that early silver snipe was actually pretty important for how the round unveiled.
Try to figure out who's faster between those two. Equal. Dodger's faster, so it won't pan out as well as if it was Wasp doing it.
Dodger can take a minute now and still be safe from an attack.
Dodger should feel pretty safe at this point.
So they have the initiative counter right now. So if they all play reds, they could actually take the cat. But they did not.
I think the downside of all playing reds is that it's boomerang at 9 means that Dodger's
sorry, but
Finger of
Dodger
Death goes up first.
with an attack of 5, he could probably. How much defense does the green have on Cat?
Infinite.
Oh yeah,
it's
a
two
dodge.
Spaces,
That's
and
true.
he moves 2 spaces into a straight line on the boomerang, and I think that's what prevents it from really coming out. If Wasp is the faster, then Cat has to dodge.
If you look at the board, wherever he would dodge, he would be in range of Dodger, which is hilarious. Like he had no straight line, which would actually move him outside of the Dodger's range.
Yeah, and that was the problem, is that Wasp was slower than Dodger.
Right, you're right.
So that's what stopped it from actually happening. Because if Wasp was faster, then Wasp gets the hit, and the only place Cat can go where he's safe is where he's irrelevant on the board, and Dodger can still pick up a minion kill. So either way, you're delighted as the blue team.
And it's interesting how it demonstrates that sometimes it's important, apart from trying to outpace your opponents with initiative, to actually pay attention to what your allies have. And sometimes it's better not to take the initiative, just to not go before your ally.
Okay, Tiger Claw running away with his red.
That's all. The attack's gone on Tiger Claw again.
Yeah. And there was a 5
Brogan's
movement.
waiting it out.
I think
there's a confidence that Brogan is going to get the push, but
I must say I really like
that.
I really like the
Yep.
cat's move because right now
Nope.
he's left with high initiative, which cannot be defeated by any reds, so he will be out of.
Yeah, but the blue
harm.
team will take 2 more minions this turn.
Will they?
Yeah, and
So
then
does Brogan.
Blue team can only take. Blue team takes.
there's a
2, he
boomerang.
takes 1.
There's a boomerang and there's a gold card on Dodger, so there would be 2.
Boomerang has no targets. Oh wait,
Yes,
it
it does.
It has, yeah, the range one. You're correct. Yeah.
Okay, all cards have been played. Let's see what you're doing. Okay, it's a 13. It's 14 for Dodger with his gold card, which is 3 attack and 1 range, and he takes the minion.
So
That's
Cat
first thing.
survives, but it may cost them the push. Interesting.
And
I
Brogan
think
with
it was
his
just
gold.
seen a very cautious cat. And this is the point where Cat really needs to move in to get onto that. Well, yeah, really wants to try and move in position to set up onto, the Mega Minion, because
Well,
Yeah,
actually,
Cat
the blue minion.
realized that he should have taken the minion, so he's getting back knowing that he's actually perfectly safe. Yeah, the Dodger, the Wasp cannot hit him.
And Wasp taking the minion as predicted, and now they have both 2/2. So minion battle, nothing happens, and they get to level up.
Is this actually
game here potentially.
Is this a game? Let's see.
Silver, sorry, gold from the blue team
Red.
is
Red. Dodger
red.
takes the melee, and then Wasp takes the heavy with the boomerang.
Yep.
Can they stop it? Let's see.
Bull rush can't. There's no bull rush to kill Dodger to punish a standstill. Cat doesn't have the power to kill.
I mean, Brogan is
Dodger.
fast. Brogan is faster than Wasp, and I think Wasp can't level up right now, if I saw correctly.
If Brogan goes before Wasp and Cat takes the melee, and then Brogan throws the spear into the heavy, they might have a chance. But the tiebreaker token is on the wrong side.
But I think they still go first, because Dodger has to play his red card, which is an 11. Cat goes first with his gold card, which is a 14. And then Brogan has 2 initiative plus, and I think it was a 9 on the red card.
No, it's an 8. So they're actually equal. It will come down to the tiebreaker.
And the tiebreaker is with blue.
Oh, that's
So if blue
unfortunate.
spots this, I think they've got it.
That's unfortunate for them. Yeah, Wasp does actually level up and gets another initiative, so.
Yeah, I mean that's just a really sensible choice. Recognizing at this stage that there's a high chance of closing out. I don't know if they've got the sums that figure out that it's a definite.
Yeah, so the Cat did the same as calculation as I have. He should have taken that minion when he had the chance. They would not be in this situation right now. In fact, the push would move already to the middle right now if the Cat took that minion.
Yeah. I think it was a miscalculation by Cat. I think they were very confident that the push was happening, and that's why they ran up to get in position for the next push. Take advantage of to be able to do a fast transition with your movement, and they got caught out.
Wait,
really
can Cat just kill Wasp?
Wasp has got +1 defense and the minion standing next to her. So Cat's highest attack card available.
Does she? Is that a normal minion? Yeah, it's a normal minion. It's not
Is
the
Cat
range.
still
Yeah.
choosing a level up here?
It's an attack 6, but she's next to minion. Yeah. Oh wait, no, it's an attack 3, and it's their minion.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
This is
not
the
gonna
thing.
work.
There's no backstab isn't available. Your blink strike is a tickle, and
Yeah.
the upgraded hit and runs with no attack behind them just don't do anything. In terms of the first hit, I mean, this is the downside of the Cat. You have all this speed, all this maneuverability, and you need other heroes in the backstab to, if you want to basically get a big hit, you're much more the harasser. The Cat can actually surprisingly win duels out of nowhere because of its combination with green and red, and the repositions to dodge in and out, but doesn't have time.
Yeah, I think if they see it now, and we see 2 red cards right now, that's it.
Yeah. I do predict that blue team sees it. They have been playing very strategic and very knowledgeable about everything. So I do
They've
feel
been confident in their play.
I feel that they see it.
Wasp did a really good job of nullifying the threat of Brogan early on, and I would have to agree that Cat's been just on that cautious side, not taking advantage of some of their safety cards.
Yeah, so basically positioning mishap on Brogan's side and not enough aggression from the Cat, I think. And few cards here and there, stake here and there, and here we are.
Especially with the Cat going gold on first round and going all the way through the jungle. Yeah, and there is the red. And I think that's a GG.
I think you're right.
But we'll see how it turns out. So, first is still Cat with the blink strike. And maybe they're calculating. No, they're going for the minion kill.
Well, there's no point going for the Wasp. You get one discard. So I agree with what the Cat is doing there.
Yep,
And
it's a game.
yeah. Dodger take the minion, and that's the
GG.
GG.
GG. Yeah, and that's how Quicken can go wrong.
That was not even an hour, so
It is just one of those things. There's just, let's say a few positions. I still don't necessarily mind Cat being up here. It's just, let's say, the loss of the kill potential is when you've actually used your gold there. You've then got to ask, really, how afraid is your opponent going to be when you've already given up one attack card? So,
All right, let's see if they will join us.
yeah. Should we just go up there?
I don't know what's easier.
Let's move up there.
Alright.
Ja, weil ich keine Initiative gekriegt habe.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
You're
hello,
live on
hi,
stream.
guys.
You're live on stream.
Oh,
Do
okay,
you
nice to know.
do you maybe wanna give a little feedback on the match?
Yeah, sure, we shortly discussed that already, but yeah, we thought, or I at least think that my Brogan misplay into the static barrier of Wasp was one key moment of the game, because then I was out of position and needed 2 cards then the next round to kill, to even kill a minion, and then they already got the first push and we were out of position, and she annoyed us with her static barrier again. Yeah, so really great play on the static barriers for Wasp there.
Yeah, both static barriers were spotted in the casting as just being horribly solid on punishing one of the slowest characters in the game.
Yeah.
It's brutal for a Brogan
And
player.
just because I couldn't pick up my first initiative upgrade with my level up, because otherwise I would have been faster with my movement. But yeah, that's the problem there.
Yeah, and I am very curious what the plan was for Tiger Claw at the beginning, going with the gold into the jungle.
Yeah, the plan was I was looking for an opening to pickpocket. And then just reposition, get the minion away as fast as possible. I think the mistake was in the second turn where I basically miscalculated Wasp's initiative, and so I should have gone for the minion, which I didn't.
No, that makes sense. It was felt that maybe you got a bit cautious at one point. Maybe having been caught out, as you say, in that second turn, did you then feel that you had to play a little bit further back?
Yeah.
To be fair, I made the same estimation at the first glance because my initial reaction to that move was that it was a great defensive maneuver to get out of the harm's way, but then I realized that maybe you didn't have enough push potential at that point to do it. But it was a close one. If that one minion would be down, I think the push would happen in the middle.
What would it help me if I maintain the gold if I use another card?
Because then you have potentially 2 attack cards, or could move with your red card to reposition for the next round.
Okay. So that I attack with the gold and then move with red. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Keeping the gold is mostly a psychological effect, apart from the practical, because as soon as your opponents see that you have only one attack card left, that lets them play more aggressively or more less cautiously. So keeping that psychological factor there sometimes helps. I wouldn't say that it's a misplay per se, but it does affect your future turns in that round.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the game was close enough, so it was just 1 minion difference here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, actually,
Absolutely.
if Cat would have the last round been more aggressive in taking a minion instead of running away, that would have been the push for you.
Yes.
Yeah, that dodge confused me too. I had to mute my microphone.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah, the dodge actually probably was not that useful because he could have just followed up and then kill me anyway, so it doesn't really.
But even
It's one of
then,
those things you get in a mindset. Sorry.
but even then, the kill doesn't really hurt. At this point, I think you were still tier 1, so there would have been one token lost, and you respawn right there, right into the battle zone.
Yeah, I can walk right in there.
I think
Well, I
it is
hope
one of
that-
these things that happen when you're playing the game, and let's say you get caught out a little bit. You can sometimes get into a mindset where you end up a bit more cautious and you end up playing safe because you don't want to give away the death. And it's very easy to end up in that spot in this game because small differences have such a big impact.
Mm-hmm.
It was very entertaining to watch, though, and I hope that you're gonna move this new experience and how the game went to the future games. And I want to wish you a lot of luck in the remaining games in the group.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Yeah. Best of luck to both teams, and thank you very much for the game.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for our opponent team as well, and I enjoyed the game. I hope you too. And
surely.
See you next time.
Yeah, and people on stream also enjoyed it, and they were very happy.
Oh, nice. That's nice to hear.
Okay, good fight, good night.
Great.
Thank you very much, guys. Good night.
See you in the future games.
Do we know if there's actually another game today? Because I saw something earlier. Will we be casting another game today?
I have to check if there was one for today. I thought I saw. I'll check in a moment. You'll see it in the tournament chat.
Okay, so for the people watching, there might be another game casted today. Just keep an eye out on the Discord and the tournament channel, and you'll be informed there. Or, which is even better, start following the Twitch channel, and then you will get informed when we get live. So that way you won't miss anything.
We also have the link on Board Game Geek as well.
Alright, so there's many ways where you can keep up with it. Thanks everyone for watching, I hope you enjoyed it and you'll be seeing more of us.
Bye bye.
Bye.